The difficulty in allowing purchase upgrades to this game is you're allowing cheating, and you have to set aside a separate region of people who also have made purchases or have made the same purchases as you in order to keep the game equally fun and fair. Once a person knows that they have that you have a whole deck's worth of all these new rare cards, you think they're going to be happy with playing against you? No, and they're probably going to make a lot of complaints. So you have to add separation when you add this whole new level of commitment as a company. And also, it's so hard to add content to something that is based around the use of the same content. And what I'm talking about is whipping out these new random cards out of your ass that do special things. They should get you aggravated, and they should make you feel like the game wasn't fair, because it is. And any deviation, so it's kind of like right from the get-go, you're already playing against unfair circumstances. It's like a grind day 2. This is me not being impressed about what the cards can do anymore. This is me having experienced each class. These are now opinions from a higher grade person, a more experienced person, someone who could also look back at the comments I just made yesterday and think, wow, why did I say that? It's actually more balanced than you think, or it's more random than you think. Random and balanced here are so synonymous, because one is the goal, one is what you robotically build. We robotically build with the randoms. Random number this, random number this. As a programmer, I know that because I'm used to programming random functions that have minimum of 0, maximum of 5, minimum of 1, maximum of 4, and essentially that's what we're dealing with. No. Sometimes, because those random missile things, each one of those people, you visualize it as a number, and then you deem one as a number, and then you put a random number function to call a random number between 0 and whatever, whichever random number it is, the missiles go to that person. That's simple. It's like attach and roll. Attach a number to everybody, roll. That number, give the damage to the person who has the number attached. That's how you handle simple things in programming-wise. I just want to say that I know that kind of shit. But what really important here is starting with random functions, and we end with balance. That is going from a simple piece of paper and turning into a 4-dimensional masterpiece, a model in real life. Not even a 3D design. You're actually going through all these formulas and steps to get a result of feeling, a world of emotion from a person. Okay, bottom line is, created a world from nothing. Thank you. So now these comments that are going to come right now, they're just going to be me like, I don't know, a different aspect, different whole mentality. A lot of the things I said yesterday were really beautiful. A lot of the things about like the aspect, and I think I just rewatched a video, I think I said stuff about how you're satisfying two different parts of your body. The working on the deck to make the ultimate deck part of your body, and the getting cards from winning part of your body. The getting gold from winning part of your body. It's almost 3 multitask. It's almost 3. And then the second thing I said was, we can't be babies. We can't expect them to provide us an aspect of proceeding. An aspect of proceeding means to increase our deck library, be gaining this, be gaining that. When we were playing real-time strategy games like Age of Empires, were we gaining new units? No, we weren't. We were just fucking satisfied. We weren't babies. We were like tough about it. We were satisfied with playing the same game, the same aspects, the same pawns, the same chesses, the same pieces over and over again. So now, you think people are going to be I'll tell you, they're not. Because we're going to man up, and we're going to think, we're gonna have 2 parts of ourselves. We're gonna have this part of ourselves that bitches, and then they're gonna have the part of ourselves that says, why are we so fucking stupid for bitching? Hello, when we play chess, so popular, it got handed down through all those ages. It would just stay rigidly the same, and what we're doing is playing with chess pieces anyway, so that's enough about this. Closed for you taking a shit. Here I am after editing, so I am restarting the game because it took a while in between games, but I've been playing Hearthstone non-stop because I can't put it down, because anyone who has it wants to constantly, after getting the game, within hours of getting the game and playing it, you were hooked for hours. And I'm talking about you developed this wanting to create the deck within 5 hours, I don't know, but I feel that I could put other games on pause. I just want to play Hearthstone. I just want to play Hearthstone all day. I don't care what I do. My priest deck, because all I do is kick ass on the priest, man, priest! Priests are so kick ass. So many fucking... You know how important it is to heal your guys after you've... Okay, basically one of the aspects of this game is work up allies and then improve all allies by mass. Improve their attack by mass. Improve their defense. Basically, some that have +2 to all. And then if you have nobody, if you just have weak people, they become strong. And then you can keep those people alive by healing them, then that means you're providing aspects where other people can't. And that aspect is strong enough as it is, so to add power in that aspect, plus the original aspect of being a priest, plus that aspect of self, you got like 2.5 aspects, versus everyone's 1.5, sometimes 2. When a priest comes around, they sometimes actually have the same 2.5 aspects as you, and they kick your ass. Then I've also been kicked by some other people too. Very rarely though, because usually my strategy, since it provides a lot of damage, the hunter or the druid, I can't remember which one, they're really good because they have beasts. I'm sorry, that's the hunter. The hunter has beasts which summons... Okay, beast is a category thing, so basically some things apply by the massive category and go by the massive beast. So the weakness of beast is that they have low health, and basically the priest and the hunter, they both have that, we got allies and we're going to hook our allies up, but the priest, even though he lacks that hook our allies up aspects that hunter has that priest doesn't, the priest being able to heal is sort of like they were stronger than the beasts because they had more health in them anyway. But now when the beasts do the damage and they negate some of the damage, health of the priest just heal it back. All in all, any damage that hunters do with their beast is pretty much over time wiped away like a mark. You just imagine that people are doing what you would do if you had their hand, basically. It's all based on the randomness of the cards. Right now I'm forced to play a late hand match. You know, I couldn't pull much big stuff out until I had enough crystals to be able to pull 2 things out at a time because their bonuses gave each other some strength when his strength alone was massively destroying anything I would have pulled out single-handedly. It's really bad. But just this time around, it's really bad. He's got 2 high-level things and one of them is taunt, and I've got nothing in front of me. I've got 6 HP, he's got 24 health. I'm an expert player, okay? But just the cards this time fucked me. I'm a level 20 and my cards reflect that of a person who's gained enough cards to get to level 20. And I just got pwned by a druid. I think no matter what I fucking do, even if I buy that good cool card, it's meant for you to always not complain in any direction of loss. Meaning, you're gonna lose and you can't figure out why, or the reason why is something that you can't complain because you could have had it too. Here's the way that the priest is better against the paladin only. Against the paladin. The paladin can summon these 1+ health, 1+ damage things.
Right away.
Hero cards really make you lucky. The fact that right-clicking exits you out of so many things is a really wise choice in design, and it also breaks away from the rigid Windows design of right-click drop-down menus, which freeze games up and such. So that was cleverly done, even though most games really do that nowadays. Some cards even sit really good in between 2 types of styles of play. Like really, some cards, especially some ones you don't get at first. Instant destroy of a 5 attack or greater card makes it permanently a nuisance to be strong, in the case that you come around with someone who's strong. So it limits what you can do by a lot. And all these pairs of cards limit you in certain ways so that you can't sneak in your normal direction. So it's just fucking crazy. On the spot, no you don't. 8s are high numbers, 9s are high numbers, 7 is a pretty high number. 10 and 12 and 11, that's like super high. That's when you're like, not even gonna fucking touch this guy probably, or this guy's gonna fucking end the game. Cards that kill attack 5 or higher are so limiting of people's strategies. Mini difference where he says it names differently if you're playing the same character. He says it slightly higher pitch the second time, so it'll be Anduin versus Anduin. So there's a little bit of effort there, which is perfect. It's great design. What you do with your mana in the first few runs can be so ambiguous, but it can be so special too. If you're setting up for someone and someone pulls a random destroy instantly on you, you're dead, and there's so many mind switches in this game. There's some sort of magical tinkling sound stuck on loop, it sounds. If you get a hand as a priest that sets you up for lots of minions that are going to heal each other and boost each other up, and I mean like 3 beasts, you got it in the pocket. Because it's a self-sustaining loop, those guys. And if the game is going not too far, too far in the direction of loss for another person or one or the other, the person can't stall you out that long to the point where you fucking get really aggravated. He can only stall you out for a minute one turn, and then a minute the next, and you know what, you only predict it with 2 or 3 turns before it happens, so that's it. Stalling is pretty important because you have to know when it's okay to stall and what benefits you get from stalling. Stalling 1 turn might give you 2 attack and 1 health, and that's a good idea. But only getting 1 health out of it might not be a good idea to stall for a turn. Stalling out might be a good idea when you want to keep any amount of minions on you. I don't see what the bad idea is because, okay, picture like this. Sometimes you stall out when they've got people snoozing, you don't attack. That's an example of stalling out. They're snoozing, some of the guys are asleep, some of them are awake, still you decide not to attack. That's the definition of stalling out. You can do that so that you let them make the choice of who to get the damage on, and that sort of alleviates you any decision you have to make when that's just stress, because you might not know the whole entire system of numbers yet. When you have no people in your hand, you gotta think about what's teasing people to attack. What is teasing people to attack? Because in this case, I want them to attack me and not the minions that I'm about to try to stack up. So I'm thinking, what is it gonna take for me to not get them to attack this guy I just pulled out? I think, is it worth your 3, losing your 3, to be able to give him your 2? Is it worth losing your 3 damager to their taunter in order to be able to use your 2 damager against his soul? You gotta think of how many numbers you're wasting when you're attacking. You want to minimize the amount of extras and overlaps. the remainders that you're doing. Basic thoughts about Hearthstone. Hearthstone really is the slightest little bit of edge over an opponent. It's the closest to 50% that it gets in the world. And Hearthstone is always going to be a game of cards. That's what the fuck Hearthstone is when it comes down to it. I've even imagined this being a trading card game where you have little dot stickers that have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to 15 on them. Or all the way up to 10, and then you could add 10 and 5 together. And these would represent their health and their defense, and you couldn't cheat, right? You had to keep an eye, be honest, don't swap any numbers out. But there would be like dice for the roll, random rolls, and there'd be stuff like that. You could certainly do it. Oh, and by the way, if you know your deck, since the max you can have is 2 cards of any card, if you know your deck is going to have something like a Squire that calls for another one, then you have 2 copies of that other one, so you could basically have it aside and then show it to your opponent when you stick it there that it's going to be. Like, there are some cards that, when you summon them, they summon another card beside it. It's crazy. So in your deck, you would have, like the Jokers are in a 52-card deck, they'd be face up or something separated. They'd be those cards that you summon. Huge trick up my sleeve. I don't know if you can see this. My guy's got 13 health. I'm going to heal him. Goes up to 15. Do this card that swaps your health and defense. Oh my gosh. My attack now becomes 15. Thank you. Oh. To be honest, I don't think you can get the same cards in regularly gold booster packs than you get in money booster packs. And maybe even the first booster pack you buy with money, you get the reward, which is the Inventor card. But hey, I'm not supposed to know that. I'm supposed to... Out of my mind, I'm not even going to think about that. Hey, I love this game. Try playing like this as my priest like I always play. Where I, depending on if I get good cards in the front, middle, or back, I need at least... No, I'm always going to just take my time so I can drop 2 or 3 down and drop them so I can get all the bonuses and use people. Because I usually tend to disperse them as in the early games, and I usually don't ever get anybody to do anything they should do. The little directional arrow thing was very, very well programmed so that it stretches out and it doesn't elongate. I just thought of how cleverly that was done, how that would be mathematically done. Each chunk would mathematically be dynamic. Each chunk would be dynamic. It's the 3rd day of Hearthstone, and I can say that the songs from the waiting, from the... during the game, it's all stuck in my head. I know every song, front to back. I think of it in my head. I mean, I play this game probably 7 hours each day. So, I've got the song stuck in my head. I'm happy to see that today's challenge is a priest, because I use that... Like the high HP guys, like the Oasis Snapjaws, those little piglet things that have 7 HP, I like those. The over feature was very clever. The game leaves you a lot of feeling like you haven't lost the game and you're still in there. I'm shocked to see a level 23 reward as a priest. Oh, it's, like I said, a holographic card of something I already had. You want to use your low bees to kill their high bees, and you want to save your high bees for their bosses, and they want to kill your high bosses with their low bees. The fact that you can sometimes use effects on your cards on some of their minions allows the dimension to go even further in playing. Something I do is I often use one of my cards that will swap their attack and their health on one of their minions to get it large enough, their attack large enough to use my insta-kill attack. That only works on things 5 or larger. So if they got 3 attack, 5 health, I'll use that one card. I'll place it down on my bench, but its effect... Here it is right here, I just got it. So that thing's badass. This guy is not moving because I kicked his butt. Well, he's basically admitting defeat. This is my lineup here. He just submitted, he conceded. Had some cards. These are the instant 5 killers. I just won the 2nd match in the individual challenge for the day, which is 2 wins as a priest. Oh, I skipped through it too fast, but now I have enough money to go to the store. And I'm gonna buy a booster pack real quick and see if I get anything good. If I get anything good, I'll be happy. Whatever, who cares? 135. So here's the story here. 1 pack. Buy. Purchase complete. Thank you. Now that I have it, go to the open pack spot. I'm gonna enjoy this. Choose a minion. Whenever it attacks, draw a card. That's pretty cool. It's a oneer. Haven't seen it before. Paladin only. Hunter. Give your beast a charger. Okay, I've seen that. Before, Hunter. Inner Rage. Deal 1 damage to a minion and give it +2 attack. Oh, that's for someone. Our minions. What's this? Abusive Surgeon. Battlecard. Give a friendly minion +2 attack this turn. 1 mana. 2/1. I'm gonna take that. And lastly, Arcane Golem battlecard. Give your opponent a mana. Why the fuck would I do that? Oh, because I get charged with attack 4. It's a good finisher offer. Okay. Neato, Mosquito. Here we go. This is gonna be a random match.
Anduin versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory. The light shall burn you.
Fuck.
Is someone injured?
Job done.
Is someone injured? Right away.
Job done.
Oh shit, I forgot it works both ways. We both draw a card.
Right away.
Job done.
Probably pissed about that.
Is someone injured?
For the king.
Right away.
For honor.
Oh.
Job done. Don't mess with us. Job done. Candingo! Yes! shall burn you. Thank you.
Behold, the light of Stormwind!
My hand is too full.
Haha. Bitch!
Nadingo!
Bitch!
The light shall burn you.